Welcome back to the Stay Hype podcast, where I help you heighten your personal experience through my own experience on this earth. I'm your host, Kristen, and today we are coming back with episode 4, Energy is the New Currency. And, when I thought about this concept or this title, Energy is the New Currency, people have said this before. This is nothing new, but I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it in the past when I wasn't comfortable in my own energy and I didn't even know what my energy was and I didn't know who I was. When someone would say, like, energy is the currency, I'd be like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? And I get it now because I'm so aware of how different energies make me feel, how they impact me. Do I feel empowered around certain people? Do I feel disempowered around certain people? Do I feel like a bully, like I can take advantage or manipulate certain people? Do I feel more threatened and in fear by certain people? There's a lot of different dynamics. And I think when I started really paying attention to how my personality would change based on the different energy I was around, I started seeing that, oh, some energy I feel really safe in, some energy brings up a lot of wounds, some energy um, feels really toxic. And I think to talk about my current situation and things that I'm going through in real time is the relationship with my dad. I have had such a tumultuous relationship with my father since the beginning, and I have overlooked how his energy has made me feel. And if I'm getting honest, I never felt safe in my dad's energy. I never felt emotionally safe. I never felt seen really truly. Um, and so, fast forward, my dad is not doing well right now. He's been really sick. And that has definitely softened me, as I feel anyone would feel, regardless of all the abuse and the ways that he's treated me. I still wanted to show up and be there, as family should, given, if it's my will. Not that you should be there for anybody that you don't feel safe with, but my decision to forgive and make peace. you know, I really felt like I had a grip on my own energy enough to where if an energy that I didn't maybe feel as safe in the past, I could, kind of feel safe within myself, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. To be honest. The point I'm trying to make is that energy is the new currency, and even though the currency of my dad, being my father, wanting to honor thy mother, honor thy father, not seeing him for who he really was, but just ignoring how I actually felt around him, ignoring how sad I have felt around his energy, how anxious I feel around his energy, how angry I feel around his energy, that it really was eye opening and a profound moment for me that even in his sickness, the energy is still not safe. That currency now of you just being my dad and you're my dad, that's no longer valuable to me. What's more valuable is the energy exchange, not the currency exchange. Because you can use the example of corporate jobs. I love talking. If you guys follow my lives, I have a lot of trauma from corporate America. Um, but when you think about, okay, you get a job that is $50,000 a year, not as much stress, not as much negative energy. Okay, I can deal with this. But then, of course, we always need more money. If you're in that matrix, especially in that financial hamster wheel, okay, always need more money. If cost of living's going up, I need more money. So then you keep climbing your way up. And if anybody who is listening has really grinded in corporate America, you know that more money comes with a lot more stress, usually. Usually you're not going to go up in tiers and all this dollar amount and have less responsibility. So when you know that, at what point is your energy and how you feel more valuable than the physical dollar amount of what you're making? And that was a question that I had to ask myself in 2018 before I quit corporate America. And I was like, the way I'm feeling, the way I'm literally sick to my stomach, dragging on autopilot, driving to work, just feeling so disconnected to my purpose and what I'm even doing here, just feeling like I'm going through the motions, just feeling like I'm existing and not really living. All of that started getting way too loud, and I couldn't ignore it anymore. And I couldn't make any excuses anymore. And I couldn't complain to my family and my friends every single day when I would drive home about how this person and this and how I didn't get this promotion, even though I put in all these hours and all this stuff, and this is not fair. I could no longer blame the external circumstances of why I was so unhappy. And I had to look inward and say, well, why am I staying? Why do I feel like this is the only choice? Why am I giving more value to the dollar amount of what I'm making every single year versus how I actually feel making that dollar amount? And so then I got to thinking, can't I feel really good and make the money that I feel I deserve? Isn't there? I mean, there has to be someone on the planet that is feeling valued financially and also happy and passionate about what they're doing. So once I got out of my own way and put in the 2 weeks, that's when my life completely changed. And what has it been, 5 years? I don't know. 20, yeah. And 5 years later, I'm sitting here living a life that I dreamed of before putting in those 2 weeks. So because my energy became more valuable than the actual currency, I think that energy is the new currency. It matters more how you feel in spaces, environments, around people, more than the status or just saying that you're in a relationship or just saying that you're the CEO at this job. But meanwhile, you feel lifeless. Meanwhile, you don't really feel free. Meanwhile, this dollar amount is not really adding up to how much time that you're missing with your family. And so you can use so many examples when you talk about energy being the new currency. When it comes to friendships, that's huge for me now. Who I spend my time with, who I choose to spend my free time with, because I love being by myself now a little too much. I love being by myself. I love my alone time. I love being in my own energy. I love going out by myself and being in my own energy. But I know that obviously I want to coexist with other people. And this is just a chapter that I'm in where I'm really recalibrating and getting to know myself. So being alone and doing things alone is not only fulfilling for once in my life, but also necessary for where I'm at in my life. And I know that this chapter is coming to an end soon. So I'm really appreciating this alone time. But even when I'm in a relationship or if I have kids or whatever it is that I'm sharing my energy, I'm still going to root in the moments that energy is the new currency. And if any time in any relationship that I'm in, whether it be platonic friendship, that I feel that the energy exchange is not equal, then that's where we have to have a conversation. And that's where I may have to bow out because I just no longer want to force energy dynamics that are not conducive to my peace just because of some limited belief that I am dismantling from the past, essentially, you know? Because I feel like because you've been friends with a certain person this long, you have to stay friends even though you don't feel good. Or because this is your father and, it's your dad, you have to put up with his bad behavior and just continue to not be respected. No, you don't, because energy is the new currency. So, yeah, that is my little tidbit on that. Uh, Dealing with a parent, grieving, healing from a narcissistic parent who is sick and who has kept you in a low frequency and has kind of been the reason that you've been in a low frequency for a very long time, you get to the point where you have to choose yourself. At least for me, I had to choose me. And as hard as it has been to focus on keeping my energy in a place that is healthy for me, it's getting easier and easier. And the fact that I can choose myself over my dad says a lot. So I think I can trust myself to um, welcome better energies in the future. And I no longer have the fear of not trusting myself. So just want to share that with you guys. It's just a win, an epiphany, a breakthrough, a really big moment in my life this week with my father. So just wanted to share that this healing journey is hard sometimes, but it's also very rewarding. And sometimes doing the right thing doesn't always feel comfortable, but in the end, if it's meant for you, it'll never miss you. And the guidance that you're being given is from a higher source. And so we just start to listen, we'll realize how much of the suffering that we've caused on our own by not. And on that note, that is my time. I will see you guys next time. I love you.